Does race play a role in traffic stops? The debate has come to a head when recent high-profile stops escalated to violence and, in some cases, death.
Tonight, data on millions of stops sheds light on the correlation between race and traffic stops here in Hampton Roads. Investigative reporter Laura Geller joins us now with the story.
You may have heard the phrase driving while black, or DWB. Ask anyone and they'll tell you the feeling is you were only pulled over because you're black, or you wouldn't have been pulled over if you were white. Tonight, the information we're analyzing might shatter some preconceived notions about this sensitive topic. The disturbing video of this Minnesota traffic stop went viral.
I told him not to reach for it.
Diamond Reynolds heading to Facebook Live after a police officer shot her boyfriend Philando Castile. His blood-soaked body lay next to her.
Oh my God, please don't tell me he's dead.
The incident sparked outrage and allegations of racism.
Would this have happened if those passengers, the driver and the passenger, were white? I don't think it would have.
Researchers are now deepening this nationwide conversation with data. Since 2015, the Stanford Open Policing Project has collected millions of records of state police traffic stops from across the country. We examined their data on more than 5 million state police traffic stops in Virginia. We dialed it down to ones here in Hampton Roads for the last 6 years. The data shows here about half of all stops are of white drivers. You might be thinking, well, of course, there are more white people. So when you also consider the racial makeup of the driving age population, a different picture emerges. Now we can specifically look at the rates of races being stopped. Generally, here in Hampton Roads, the data shows troopers stop black drivers at nearly twice the rate of white drivers. But whose fault is that? Who's making those stops? For that, we look at the races of both the driver and the officer. Here, black troopers stop black drivers at a higher rate than white troopers stop black drivers. For every 100 stops by black officers, 43 are black drivers, whereas in 100 stops by white officers, only 40 are black drivers. The reverse is also true. The analysis shows white officers stop white drivers more than black officers do. For every 100 stops by white troopers, 52 involve white drivers. On the other hand, only 48 of a black trooper's stops involve white drivers. We asked former Norfolk cop Michael McKenna to make sense of it all.
Right now, they say we target everybody.
Sources explain law enforcement often targets crime-ridden locations or certain criminal activities. That can often influence the type of people they're stopping.
If I'm assigned to work in a certain neighborhood, that's my district, I have to stay. I can't leave. That's my district. And if it happens to be an all-minority district, then I'm going to stop minorities.
McKenna, who is now the local union rep, explains when officers stop someone for, say, running a red light or really any traffic infraction, they often can't even see who is driving initially.
I've been on 35 years, and I've been around a long time, did a lot of stuff, mostly in patrol, and I never met any police officer who targeted certain races. I've never come across it.
We reached out to state police for a comment on our story. A spokesperson explains cultural diversity training is mandated by the state and has been a part of VSP training for decades. She went on to say, in recent years, the department has complemented that training with fair and impartial training in line with the recommendations presented in the President's Task Force on 21st Century Policing. Laura Geller, 13 News Now.